Professor Babone, is one of the points you have repeatedly made, even in indices on the state of democracy, is it all depends on who you talk to. But if I were to pick up, therefore, two anecdotal examples, the ban on the BBC documentary recently, and then, raids that many people did not see as unconnected, and a journalist who goes to cover a gang rape in Uttar Pradesh, Siddiq Kappan, and he gets arrested and clubbed and is called an alleged, is accused of having links with terror groups. These are the kind of big headline grabbing anecdotal examples that if the RSF came to survey people, they would cite. And as anecdotal examples, they sound like big, giant examples. And hence the questionnaire perhaps ends up being what it is. But these are not irrelevant examples that I've given. They speak to something. We need to talk about what they speak about. Go ahead.
But this is to misunderstand how surveys work. The text write-up, that's the headline grabbing part of the report. Yes, that comes from these anecdotes, but the surveys are actually a series of quantitative measures. And India's misplacement on these surveys is longstanding. It doesn't result from the last 9 years. I mean, let me quote you from the 2012 report. In India, the, quote, world's biggest democracy, unquote, they don't want to say that it really is, the authorities insist on censoring the web and imposing more and more taboos, while violence against journalists goes unpunished. Yeah, I'll read from the 2013 report. India experienced an unprecedented wave of violence against journalists, with 8 killed in 2013. They're targeted by both state and non-state actors. Almost no region is spared. This is not a BJP thing. This is not a Modi thing. This is a problem that India has as an entire national community with the way these surveys are conducted. And the fundamental problem is that if you were to rank democracies and you were to say India falls below Western Europe, North America, Japan, Australia, New Zealand, that would just put it at number 40 or 50. That'd be fine. No one would argue over it. The problem is these surveys are not designed to properly measure non-democracies, with the result that all of these non-democracies, North Korea scoring better than India on some of these metrics, Democratic Republic of the Congo, the problem is that the survey is not well designed to capture the difference between life in a real liberal democracy with a real press freedom and a dictatorship or a disorganized country that has no real democracy. As a result, you get these bizarre results of Hong Kong being ranked 20 places above India for press freedom. How is that possible? It's possible. It's not because of these anecdotes. It's possible because of the way the survey is constructed.
Can you speak to the last point before I get Yogendra Yadav to come in? You're basically saying, if I understand you correctly, that there is no sort of access to that kind of open question and response in societies or countries that are more tightly controlled, that they're so tightly controlled that you can't even have this kind of subjective survey there. And therefore, the methodology of the survey you find questionable. Is it that, Professor Babone?
Oh, sorry, you're asking me? Yes, absolutely. Yeah. The survey is simply not well designed to differentiate among poor countries that are democracies, because there are so few poor countries that are democracies. I mean, we just don't have the problem in Australia that journalists are killed by IEDs in separatist regions, right? That just doesn't happen in a country like Australia. And so the survey is not well designed to capture the reality of a poor country democracy.